Yes, they're trying to kill him. Yes, they want to remove him, but they're going to have a very, very difficult job. And I think they're aware if they do kill him, he's potentially more dangerous as a martyr than he is alive. So it's not something that they want to do.
Yeah.
So there's an interview of Ibrahim Traoré, which was in France, which we translated through our comrade in Burkina Faso, where he's saying the story of Ibrahim Traoré is he was a fighter on the ground, fighting these terrorists. They're seeing BS by these French troops. They're like, we're risking our lives. I'm losing comrades left, right, and center. The French are meant to be helping us. They show up way after the fight is done. What's this about? They have the most high-tech military equipment, high-tech military aircraft, but yet they're showing up after the fight's done. He's saying in this interview, which we translated and posted certain parts, he's saying they would see planes flying up above, dropping off weapons to the terrorists. That is the trigger for the revolution. Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah, he says this.
I look at Africa right now. I look at Traore. And I see a bit of hope. What do you think about? I know you guys have covered. And have you guys gone to Burkina Faso? Baby?
We didn't need to go because we have a reporter there full time.
Okay.
She lives there full time, and she's met Ibrahim Traoré.
Really?
I was so angry. I was like, "Why don't you get an interview?" She was, I think she was a bit starstruck.
Yeah, of course.
I think I can't blame her. I think I would be as well.
Yeah.
But we have a reporter there full time, so we have been there. We've done several reports on the ground from there. I think we were the only English speaking channel to do a report from all three, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, in one report. So we traveled the three and did a report on it.
Wow.
We're just about to release. So even though we've closed, there were a few projects that we were working on. We did one on Modibo Keita. That's coming out on Monday morning from Mali. But to answer your question, what's happening in Burkina Faso is extremely impressive. And what I like about the three leaders is no one's trying to be like the other. They know Ibrahim Traoré is the charismatic, good-looking, the one that's that captures the imagination of what a revolutionary is. Doesn't mean Assimi Goïta is less revolutionary. Or Abdurrahman Tiani is less revolutionary. They just know you need someone like Ibrahim Traoré
to be the face.
Yeah. Now, in some ways, Tiani's speeches are just as or more impressive, but they're not going to get the same reach because he's, respectfully, he's a slightly older man. He's not in the same shape. He doesn't speak in the same way. But if you just listen to what the content of what he's saying, it's brilliant. Goïta is a bit more shy and reserved. So his firebrand who articulate Mali's revolutionary position are his ministers, the foreign minister, the minister to the UN. These guys are brilliant. And he's fine with that. A leader doesn't need to have brilliant speaking skills. He just needs to lead and understand who does have brilliant speaking skills and give them, that position. But in Mali, they've done fantastic stuff. They nationalized some of the mines. They closed Barrick Gold, which was exploited in the Mali for decades now. They kicked out some Canadian firms. They kicked out French media. France 24 had the goal to interview the head of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb as if he's just a normal person. Yeah, do you know what I mean? The analogy that I give, could you imagine an African stream if after the Paris terrorist attacks, we just interview some of the leaders of and just say like, okay, so why did you guys do it? Give us your manifesto. What do you believe? So this is why people, some of these bourgeoisie media outlets, like Al Jazeera, for example, which is, people think are progressive. They're progressive on some stuff, terrible when it comes to the continent. constantly talking about press freedoms in Mali and how they kicked out all of these media outlets without providing the context. Without providing in the context, they kicked them out because they were interviewing terrorists. And Burkina Faso kicked out Radio France because they were giving false reports about what was going on the battle lines, which was attempting to demoralize the population. So battles where the Burkina Faso army had won, they provided the story as if they'd lost it. You know what I'm saying? This is the context that they omit. But anyway, in terms of what's going on, the people, these are revolutions from the ground up, not top down. That's why people got confused at the beginning. We launched African Stream September 2022. Ibrahim Traoré, came to power October 2022. So we followed his journey from the start. And actually, he's one of the reasons why I should have mentioned this earlier, I think we got so popular, because we had someone on the ground in Burkina Faso who could report what was going on in English, and we were reporting positively about what's happening. Now everybody reports positively about what's happening. It's funny because BBC Afrika did a report on Ibrahim Traoré where they used the word anti-imperialism. I've never in my life, I've been following BBC since a little child. I've never seen them use the word imperialism. I've never seen the word imperialism.
Even the word imperialism. Never.
So even we're forcing the BBC to acknowledge, why this guy is so popular. But it's infrastructure, USAID, they come to the continent. Their annual budget for 2024 was 620 million. Yeah. You point to me, maybe your fiance can point to me. Name me one thing that USAID has built in Kenya. 620 million annual budget. Name me one thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's just aid and
it's all democracy promotion.
Yeah.
LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe medical equipments.
Yeah.
Syringes, medicine.
I mean, they say that. I'd like to see the proof.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, that's what they say.
Yeah. They say that. Meanwhile, if you fly into Jomo Kenyatta Airport, what's the first thing you'll do? You'll get on the highway built by the Chinese.
Yeah.
So if I was to advise the US empire, which I wouldn't, but say if I would, I'd say to them, if you want to infiltrate Kenya's political system, which is what democracy promotion is. It's making sure your guy gets elected and serves your interest. That's what democracy promotion is. Because what's democratic about this Ruto administration?
Yeah.
But if you want to do that, if that's your real aim, why don't you build some lampposts and say made by USAID? Just if you were smart, if you were smart about it. Anyway, what's happening in Burkina Faso? They understand we're in a different stage of development. In this stage of development, we need infrastructure. Yes. F your democracy promotion.
You can say it.
Yeah. F your democracy promotion. Democracy is important, but we know what democracy promotion means. It means infiltrating your political system to make sure
to install the leaders they want.
Exactly. What we from Burkina Faso becoming independent to now, I think I read somewhere there's only 10,000 kilometers. 10,000 kilometers of road, and within that 10,000 kilometers of road, only 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers is paved. Yeah, it's ridiculous. How do you're a businessman, you're a Burkina Faso businessman, Burkina Bay. You want to do business in your country. How do you even do big business when there's not roads to travel on? So in Burkina Faso, they've had this ambitious target by 2029 of building, between 30 to 60,000 kilometers of road. 10,000 since independence. They're looking to build 30 to 60,000. That's number one. Second thing, they've empowered the peasant farmers with these collective programs. So they've just built a tomato factory. Tomatoes are produced in Burkina Faso. No one's allowed to be a large shareholder. People are allowed to buy small parts of this factory. Yeah. So it's empowering the local generation, the local people. The local people have shareholder rights, which means they get to dictate who they sell to. They're moving towards being food sovereign. Yeah, understanding we have all these things here. Why are we importing it? Yeah, if we have tomatoes here, why are we importing tomatoes? Yeah,
or tomato sauce,
yeah,
ketchup.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So they're empowering the local population, moving towards food sovereignty. They're encouraging local businesses to come back. There's a local businessman that's come back and set up a electric car taxi business. Yeah, encouraged by the business, encouraged by the government. These are the things that's happening. They're in Niger. Niger used to get 6 to 8% of the royalties from the uranium mined in Niger. I'll repeat, 6 to 8% of the uranium mined in Niger, the Nigerian government would receive royalties for. Yeah, the same company, Orania, would give Kazakhstan 30 to 40% of the royalties. How does that work? Huh?
6-8% versus 30-40%.
Exactly. How does that work? It's because you installed neo-colonial government after neo-colonial government. You agree a 6 to 8%, but you agree behind under the table something else. Yeah. So the reason why people in Niger are filling football stadiums, filling the streets to support their government is because they know. They try to describe the African as if we're just docile, unintelligent people that don't know what's going on, that don't know we're being robbed. Now they've kicked out this firm, and now they've taken the uranium. Sorry, not the uranium. The uranium, and they've increased the global price of uranium because they're now renegotiated all of their deals. Yeah. What we're seeing in Niger in 2024 had a GDP growth of between 10 and 12%. Yeah. Before the revolution that happened in July 2024, Niger was the second poorest country in the world. Yeah. Now it's one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Wow.
So these revolutions are changing the lives of the people on the ground. People don't have an infatuation for men in military uniform. Ideally, they wouldn't be done by men in military uniform. But if the men in military uniform are those that are politically conscious and understand what's going on, then if they're the people to do the job, then so be it. And people can see the results on the ground. Terrorism, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger had become the epicenter of terrorism. But before France entered the fight against terrorism, before the US entered the fight for terrorism, in quote, there was like less than 100 terrorist attacks within the whole Sahel region. It's increased by 8,000%
when they got in.
Yeah. So there's an interview of Ibrahim Traoré, which was in France, which we translated through our comrade in Burkina Faso, where he's saying the story of Ibrahim Traoré is he was a fighter on the ground, fighting these terrorists, They're seeing BS by these French troops. They're like, we're risking our lives. I'm losing comrades left, right, and center. The French are meant to be helping us. They show up way after the fight is done. What's this about? They have the most high-tech military equipment, high-tech military aircraft, but yet they're showing up after the fight's done. He's saying in this interview, which we translated and posted certain parts, he's saying they would see planes flying up above, dropping off weapons to the terrorists. That is the trigger for the revolution. Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah, he says this, completely ignored. And there's a few articles here and there, but nobody will republish the video. Yeah? Because they know that people don't read.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not the headline of the article. The article will be about something else, and it's in the middle there somewhere. So they know only very few people are going to get access to that information. But if someone asks them, why didn't you cover it? They go, oh, it's here. It's in this article. So it's covered in the mainstream media, but covered in a very clever way, where, and they'll say stuff like, the military leaders in Mali allege this, the Burkina Faso military leaders allege this, as opposed to the leader of the president of Burkina Faso who was on the front lines, says he saw this. You know what I mean? It's a different framing. It's a different framing. So that's why they're happening, because of the terrorism, because of the infrastructure, because of these exploitative mining contracts. People understood we have things in this country, but yet we're poor. There's a Parente quote where he goes, "Africa's not poor. It's just African people are poor."
But the land isn't poor.
Yeah, and it's so true. Africa isn't poor.
It's the richest.
We're just poor.
Yeah.
As Africans, we're just poor. Add that up, do the equation. How does that work?
But why?
Exactly.
Why are African people poor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, when you start getting the answers, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, because let me tell you something. When Traore got in, the first few months, I was like, let me observe him first.
Smart.
Yeah, because people were asking me, what do you think about Traore? You think, I'm like, relax. Because, we have gotten a lot of disappointment.
Yes.
So, especially me, as a person who's really passionate about Africa, I didn't want to rush into praising him.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just observe him for some months. And now I'm like,
the real deal.
Yeah, he's real. He's real.
Still, my son was born. My second son was born February 14th. Born on Valentine's Day. His middle name is Sankara.
Oh.
I was thinking, shall I go with Traore? I was like, it's too early.
Too early.
Let me wait till he's finished. Because you never know. So what we'll say so far about Ibrahim Traoré, he's done a fantastic job so far. But people need to keep all of our leaders accountable. Yeah?
Yeah.
All of our leaders.
Even him.
Our African stream, our audience kept us accountable. Because anyone can stray from the path. Anybody. Anybody that thinks that they can't stray from the path is not aware of danger. Anybody can stray from the path. But so far, he's done an impeccable job. And he's got our full support.
Langley.
Yeah.
Man, what do you think about that?
That's an interesting story. Because so for the audience, Michael Langley is the head of Afrikan. He's changed now. He got demoted because he did such a terrible job.
Yeah.
He did such a terrible job with Ibrahim Traoré. He was the head of Afrikan, thanks for that correction. So he made this ridiculous statement where he says Ibrahim Traoré is using the gold reserves to provide security for himself. Yeah? Now let's just deconstruct what he says. Do you think Ibrahim Traoré's security budget is smaller than the US president's security budget? No, his security budget is smaller than the US president.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The US president, when he moves, when they fly everywhere, they have to have a detour plane, and then they have to have fighter jets flying beside them, and then they have to send out these signals, which means I and you can't use our phone. So there's a bunch of stuff, and every US former president is provided with security for life.
Yeah, for life.
So
what are they called? Secret
Service.
Secret Service.
Yeah, and they've all got the earpieces.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Probably like billions of dollars.
Yeah. And so Donald Trump has had a few assassination attempts on his life. Ibrahim Traoré has had several, not as many as been reported. There's a lot of fake news that says it's been 19 assassination attempts.
Yeah.
It's not been 19. I think it's around 6, which is still crazy.
It's still crazy.
It's still crazy.
A span of 2.5 years.
Yes, exactly.
But how does he go through that storm? How does he do that?
Anyone that wants to do the job that they're doing has to know, if I'm going to nationalize mines, if I'm going to take money from these imperialists, people are going to come after me. You don't step into that world not aware of the danger. So I'm sure he's aware, and it's a decision he's decided to take. But anyway, back to Langley. A sovereign president of a sovereign country is entitled to spend money on security. Yeah. So it's a weird line to go with in terms of attack. But anyway, when he made that statement, something happened which made me so proud to be an African. something I've not witnessed while I've been on this earth for 36 years. Yeah, he made that statement, and protests were called around the world. Protest in London, protest in the US, protest in Jamaica, protest in Canada. There was an attempted protest in Nigeria, but they shut it down before it could get started. They arrested the leaders. They did a Facebook post and they went and arrested the leaders straight away.
But there were some protests in some parts of Africa.
Yes, protests in Africa. And that showed something. These new Africans ain't taking the shit that our forefathers took.
You know why?
Yeah.
It's because of platforms like yours. I think your platform had something to do with it.
Maybe. I hope so.
It is.
I hope so.
You guys.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful to see. And these weren't small protests. Protests in London was huge. A guy had this huge portrait of Ibrahim Traoré. And everyone was cussing out Afrikan.
Yeah.
Everyone was cussing out Langley. And then he got demoted. Yeah. That is African power in full display. Yeah. Now in 2011, I was at university in 2011. That didn't happen with Libya. Yeah. That was before, social media had the reach that it has now. And it was captured by like reactionary elements. So people were cheering when Gaddafi got killed and, I hate to say this, sodomized on camera.
Yeah, that was...
People were cheering. When Hillary Clinton said, "We came, we saw, he died," people thought it was funny. That won't happen with Ibrahim Traoré.
It won't.
Mark my words, that won't happen with Ibrahim Traoré. And so, yes, they're trying to kill him. Yes, they want to remove him. But they're going to have a very, very difficult job. And I think they're aware, if they do kill him, he's potentially more dangerous as a martyr than he is alive. And so, yes, they're trying to kill him. Yes, they want to remove him. But they're going to have a very, very difficult job. And I think they're aware, if they do kill him, he's potentially more dangerous as a martyr than he is alive. So it's not something that they want to do.
Yeah.
Plus, the Burkina Faso have taken steps where it's very difficult for that to do. He's surrounding himself with some of the most loyal men around him. Then there's civilian volunteer force that sleep day and night in the square outside the presidential palace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not going to be easy. The best thing that they can do, which they're trying to do, is they're trying to discredit him with this propaganda that he's some sort of ethnic nationalist targeting the Fulani. It's an old tired trick, but this is what they're running with. What I've noticed since they failed with the Langley, I've noticed there's an explosion of all these BS articles about how the Burkina Faso army is targeting the Fulani tribe. And there's Fulani people are in the leadership positions in the army. There's a minister. So it's just bullshit. There's obviously always been, people within countries that are relatively large that are dissatisfied with their allocation of wealth. So you're always going to have a Tuareg separatist movement, and the imperialists are always going to exploit that type of movement. But what they forget to tell you is this separatist nationalist movement by the Tuareg people came about in 2011. You know why it came about in 2011? Do you know the history? I'll tell you the history. In 2011, when they tried to take out Muammar Gaddafi, they had to sell some lies to do that. One of them was Gaddafi was giving his soldiers Viagra to go rape women, proven to be. The second lie, and this was the one that was most dangerous, and the one that we're living with the legacy, is Gaddafi has hired African mercenaries to fight the rebels. Yeah. What happened was, Libya is one of the biggest countries in Africa, has a population of 4 to 6 million. There's not enough people for jobs. Yeah. So for a country that big to develop, you need immigration. We're in Africa. African migrants are going to come and work. And they did come and work. And Gaddafi encouraged them to come and work. So these same African migrants that have been in Libya for years were now all turned into mercenaries. Yeah. So these are the same
that's
people.
The propaganda.
That's the propaganda. Turned into mercenaries by the propaganda. They weren't mercenaries, they were just migrants.
Yeah.
So what happened was the Libyan people turned on anyone with dark skin. That's what led to the open slave markets. The Tuareg people, because they're nomadic and they come from places like Mali, Burkina Faso, and elsewhere in the Sahel, they have darker skin. They were well treated by Gaddafi. You know, to this day, they still sing songs about Gaddafi.
Yes.
They were being persecuted by the Libyans, the rebels post his death. So they start leaving Libya.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we're not safe anywhere until we have our own homeland.
Yeah.
So this is what's led to this separatist nationalist move. It was there before, but this is what's led to its prevalence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Libya is in a mess.
Libya is in a mess. So these same separatists have gone to Mali. Yeah. And so this is what the some of the conflict is about. But the mainstream media don't say this.
They don't say that.
They don't say this. And all they say is, the Mali's persecuting the Tuareg. The Burkina Faso is persecuting the Fulani. It's nonsense, but it is an effective tool to try and weaken revolution. So Africans need to be aware on what's going on and what the origins of this is.
You know what caught my eye was it a year ago when Obama said that the operation in Libya was one of the biggest mistakes he's ever done. I was like, you leave office and then now you say, I really f***ed up there. Come on. What are you saying?
They always say that. They always say, they don't. What's funny about it is they never say the invasion was wrong. They say the post-war planning.
Oh, okay.
So the same, George Bush says, he never says invading Iraq was wrong.
He says
the post-war planning was wrong. No, if you destroy a prosperous nation like Libya, which was the wealthiest in Africa, highest life expectancy, highest living conditions, most women in university, most women educated, the list goes on and on. Biggest proportion of people that own their own house, biggest proportion of people with access to healthcare. The list goes on and on. When you destroy a country like that, you create a vacuum where the biggest and baddest rule.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Where the biggest and baddest rule. So that's the issue. There's no scenario where you can do that and it doesn't end in chaos, where it doesn't end in civil war. Libya is now 2 countries. But we could have told him in 2011 it's 2 countries. And I don't have all the grey hair that Obama has. So how can I tell him as a young man and he doesn't know? He knew what he was doing and he thought it was a price worth playing.
And it's a black president.
Yeah.
Who has Kenyan ties. You know how painful it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's always the case though. They bring in this person for that reason. So Obama comes in 2009. Comes in 2008.
Yeah,
2008.
9 January.
Yeah, January. Yeah, you're right. 2008 elected, 2009 he comes in. Africom is established at the end of 2007.
Yes.
It really gets going during Obama. Yeah. So he was obviously they say elected. He was selected so that the US empire can pivot towards the continent. Do you think they could have invaded Libya under George Bush? Impossible. The optics.
Yeah.
White man.
White president.
Invaded an African country. But if it's a black man, maybe he's just doing it for democracy.
Let's now, but you know what? When it comes to Traore, I think they hired the white boy to finish the job. I even said it in Lin Gugi's show. I hope it doesn't happen. God forbid. I hope it doesn't happen. But I think that's why Trump put the white boy to finish the job because Langley failed. Maybe. What do you think?
I think, if I'm being honest, Trump isn't concerned about Africa the same way the Biden administration is. for voting reasons. So he's pivoting towards Latin America, yeah,
Really?
because Florida, which has all of these Cuban exiles, Venezuelan exiles, all of the right wing from Latin America all reside in Florida, and they demand the U.S. empire turn up the hatchet, turn up the dial when it comes to Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and so on. So you've just seen Trump sanction Cuban doctors, Cuban doctors which go around the world risking their life fighting polio, and they've all been sanctioned now by the US empire. So I don't think, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, he had like 5 presidents the other day, you know.
Yes, I know, but still, the whole body language in that meeting was that the African presidents were more pleased to be there than Trump wants to have them. He's just not smart enough to realize the importance of Africa. He's one of those old school racists. Where he just thinks we're he believes in all of the Eurocentric tropes, that it's a poor place where there's not really much going on, etc., etc. As opposed to the Biden administration, which realizes the future of the whole planet rests in this continent. Now, I might be wrong. That's just my initial impression.